everybody, this is Fairy, or the Hedge Witch, and welcome back to my sacred space. So I am wearing the exact same outfit as in my altar cleaning video and as in a part of my grimoire tour. I'm filming a couple different things this evening. It's like literally 2 in the morning. I know lately I'm not sure if it is a manic episode or if it's just my good astrology alignments, but I've been feeling really excited about organizing and cleaning things. So if you didn't watch my altar cleaning video, I will link it up in the iCard. I did do a whole organization and cleaning of my altar space, and today I'm going to show you guys what my space looks like. Just a quick disclaimer before I start going through my altar. I am not doing this altar tour to show off all of the stuff that I've bought over the years. That's not my intention at all. I just know personally I like watching these kind of videos for inspiration and kind of ideas of what to put on my own altar. And I'm also not trying to promote the idea that you need to have a million tools and like all this stuff to do witchcraft, because it is absolutely not true. When I started witchcraft, my altar was a shelf in my closet that had like a picture of a cat or something. Like there was nothing. I didn't have any tools. I've been a witch for several years, so I've been collecting for a long time. I just like to have and use tools in my practice. If you don't want to, or you can't afford it, or whatever your situation is, that's fine, and you're completely valid and you're still a witch if you don't have a huge amount of crap. I know most of you guys won't think of this video that way, but I just need to say it because somebody in the world will see this and be like, wow, that fairy, what a bitch. Like, they're just showing off all their stuff when like that's not the case. I don't really have a lot of preamble for this video, thankfully, so let's just hop right into the tour. I hope that this is okay. My room is pretty small and my ring light is behind me, so I don't have too much space to move around here, but here's just kind of a quick overview of my altar space. So I think I'm gonna just kind of go right to left and see where that ends up taking me. Okay, so on the far right of my altar, okay, I need to back up. So first of all, what I actually use for my altar is one of those little cube storage shelves. I think this is from either Target or Walmart, and they're not very expensive. They're the kind that you put together yourself, so like you can see the screws. They're not fancy. I just think that these shelves look really nice, and they kind of give an area for everything, which I really like. So my main altar, I have kind of the short and long way, and for me this is about sitting or kneeling height, which is really nice for when I'm doing ritual. I can just use this surface here, and then next to it I do have another one of these 6 cube things, but I have it stacked tall ways because this is just for storage mainly. So on my working altar, I have it kind of split in half here. It's divided by this prayer shawl. So this is actually knitted by some older ladies in the church that I used to go to as a child and teenager. I was actually raised Lutheran, and in my old congregation when you went to college, you would get a prayer shawl that was blessed, and it was like a whole thing. So I do still have this. It just has really nice energy. I really like it. Plus it's like a cool color and blend of yarn, and it just kind of makes a nice little altar cloth. So these wood pieces are actually shelves from this shelving unit. I just have a lot of tall things that go in the shelf, and I didn't really have a use for these ones because this is the type where you can adjust the shelves. So I actually just pulled them out and placed them on my altar, just kind of as a harder surface for things to sit on, since it can get a little wobbly with the knitted altar cloth. This little drawer thing is from the dollar section at Target, and it's actually only 2 drawers, but I pulled the top drawer out and then flipped it sideways to make another little display area. So this is where I store most of my crystals, or all of them. Out here, I honestly couldn't even tell you what all these are. I know that this is bloodstone and this is citrine, and then I've got a selenite stick here. In here I just have like a bunch of various crystals. In this little cube I keep some of my favorites. I'm not going to go through my crystal collection too crazy, but this one's one of my favorites. It is, I believe, angel rose quartz or something like that. It's really nice. And then up in the top one, I have a little tiny jar with incense ash in it, a piece of bismuth, a few feathers, and a spell jar that I made like 2 years ago now, but I still keep it around. And then up on top here, this is one of the very first things I ever got as a witch, so this is a very important gift to me. My friend Wesley made this for me when they used to work at a pottery studio. It's just a little ceramic cauldron, and it's got the element symbols on it. I have been using this for years. I love it. It is very well loved. Many things have been burned in this little guy, so I love having this around. Inside of it right now, I just have a couple sticks of incense. My friend and I actually swapped some incense recently, and I didn't have a bag for it, so I didn't want it to get like broken, so it's just up there. Moving back down, next to my crystals, there's a couple pressed flowers here I'd like to put in my Book of Shadows, and I also have my bowline, or my physical blade. So traditionally these are white-handled blades, but I just really liked the shape of this one. This is not something that I would use to like sacrifice animals or anything like that. That's not what I do in my craft, but I do use this to cut like herbs or string or anything else physical that I would need to cut for my practice. I believe I got that off of Etsy. I can't quite remember. I've had it for a few years now, so I don't quite know. Right here I've got 2 books. The top one is my planner, and the bottom one is just my grimoire, which you guys have seen. My planner, this is a Cosmo planner, and I've actually been using it to track my astrology transits. So this is kind of like your daily horoscope. I've been really into astrology lately, so it's been really important for me to keep track of those in there. I'm a little bit behind on it right now, but that's what I've been using that for. Over here, this is my chalice. This is a more recent piece. Now, again, guys, I've been a practicing witch for almost 6 years, so all of the crap that I have has been accumulated very gradually over that time. And I know I said this already, but you really don't need to have all this fancy stuff. It's just something that I like. But anyway, this is a hand-painted chalice. Again, it's off of Etsy. The artists, I'll put their name on screen because I can't remember where they're from. Ah, it is on the bottom. So, this is by Moon Goddess Garden. They are based out of the UK, so this was shipped to me over the ocean and it arrived in one piece. I do use this for liquid offerings, or right now there's a Lindor chocolate truffle in there because that is the kind of witch I am. That's my offering. I don't typically keep a libation dish out, but I will use my chalice for any offerings. Next to that, I've got this little jar that comes with a spoon on the side, and this is just pink Himalayan sea salt. And this is just what I prefer to use in my practice. You definitely don't have to. I just like the energy that it adds to my spell work. Right down here, we've got my athame, or athame, however you'd like to pronounce it. Oh my goodness. This was, I believe, the first witchcraft item I purchased myself. I know for sure that this was from Etsy, but I don't believe the seller is on there anymore. I may be mistaken. Yes, this knife is dull, so no cutting myself on it or anything. You really don't want to be using your athame for any sort of physical cutting. Traditionally, they have a black handle, which mine does, and mine just has a little pentacle on it here. I absolutely love my athame. It's one of my favorite tools, and I love using it to cast a circle, actually. I used it exclusively before I had a wand, and now I use it for bigger rituals or any time that it calls for it, really. It does have a sheath, but I just think it's so pretty, so I usually just leave it laying out like this. Got a couple crystals, I don't know what they are, and then this is an abalone shell, and I have a couple of cleansing sticks. Now, this one is white sage, and please don't come for me because I know that white sage is not okay to use. It is very appropriatory of several native cultures that use it for actual, like, religious ceremonies. So I'm no longer buying white sage. I just still have this left from, like, years ago. So I'm trying to just finish this, and then I'll be not purchasing it any longer. This is actually a cedar cleansing stick, which I used around Christmas, and I also have a pine one. I also always put my matches in here after I use them to light candles. So that's that little section of my altar. So right next to that, like I said, this is where I usually will perform any spells that I'm doing. So right here I have my wand. This I purchased from a local witchcraft store down in Madison, Wisconsin. I've had this for a number of years. It was made by a local craftsman, but I really have no idea who it was. When I was searching for my wand, I was really patient. There were a few times where I almost bought, you know, a different wand or whatever, but it just never felt right. And then I saw this one day and I just fell in love with it. So I love my wand. It's got kind of a little bow to it and this little nub, which makes it really nice for me to hold. It's like the perfect size. So that is my wand. In this jar, this is an old Herbert's lemonade container. I love repurposing jars. This I usually keep full moon water in. I actually don't have any right now, so it is empty, but that's usually what that is. I've got my little Bast cone incense burner. If you guys didn't know, Bast is my primary goddess that I follow. This was at my local witch shop in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, so I picked that up immediately as I saw it. The two candles that I have burning, my god and goddess candles, those are also from Etsy. Gotta get everything from Etsy. I actually really love these though. They're 7-day candles and they're unscented, which I find a little bit difficult to find. So again, I'll put the shop name on screen. I really enjoy them. Here I've just got a little tiny Bast figurine. I can't remember where this is from. But it's surprisingly difficult to find like figures and things of Bast that aren't like either giant or very expensive. So this was something affordable that I found. Right here, I've got my cat salt lamp. This was actually a gift a couple years ago from a couple friends. They got it for me for Christmas or Yule, and I think it might be from Earthbound. I'm not sure since it was a gift, but I absolutely love this thing. Right now the light in it is burned out, so it's not lit up right now, but it's still just such a great like centerpiece for my altar. I love it. Down here, just a couple pieces of clear quartz and a couple other cat figures. Those ones are made out of crystal. I think they're from like a gift shop from a cave. And then over on the side here, I've got my incense holder. It just opens kind of like a coffin. And you can stick the sticks in the side here. Again, this is just from my local witch shop here in Eau Claire. So that is everything on the main bit of my altar here. God, this is going to be a really long video. I'm so sorry. Okay, so into the cubes. In this first cube here, this is where I keep all of my tarot decks. And I'm quite the tarot enthusiast. I really love doing tarot, so I've got several of them here. The main deck that I use is the Wild Unknown Tarot. I just really enjoy the imagery on it, and it's pretty easy for me to read. One of my other favorites is Tarot of the White Lotus. This is actually published by a friend of mine, and the guidebook in it is slightly vague, which I love because I can totally hear it in my friend's voice, and I really like using that deck for daily draws because sometimes you just need like a little Gary quote to get you through the day. This is the bag that I keep my Wild Unknown Tarot deck in. This bag was a gift, so I have no idea where it's from, but I absolutely love it. I also have a Thoth or Tot, or however you want to say it, tarot deck. It is called, oh, I'm looking because I forget. It is Wayward Dark Tarot. This one was advertised to me and I could not resist it. It is such a beautiful deck. I've also got the Raven's Prophecy Tarot. Back behind these boxes, I've got Ostara Tarot, and then I've also got Believing Heart, which is based on an anime, and then the traditional Rider-Waite. I also have a deck coming in just a few weeks called the Botanica Tarot deck, and I'm so excited about that one. So moving to the middle cube here, I kind of went over this in my altar cleaning video, but the books I keep in this section are things that I would possibly use during a working or a ritual. So these are the more practical hands-on magic books. So I've got a couple books that are like grimoires of spells. I've got this one about moon magic, a couple tarot books, and a dream interpretation book. And then over here are just my personal magical journals. So this is my Book of Shadows, I've got my tarot journal, and then a couple other journals there. This is my shelf of incense. It's a little crazy because it's kind of hard to organize incense, but yep. In case you're wondering, my absolute favorite scent is Dragon's Blood. I really hated it the first time I smelled it, but I can't get enough of it. And I also really like green tea. Green tea incense has always been a favorite, and also, if I can get it, Japanese cypress. In here I just keep my matches. There's that pine bundle back there, some charcoal, long handmade matches, and then my lighter, which is actually dead, so I need a new one. At the bottom here, I've actually got a few shelves of these little cat plushes from Tasty Peach Studios. I collect these, I have a ton of them, so anywhere that I can store them, they go. So I had some space here, so that's where they are. And then in the middle right here, I've got a little drawer thingy. So this is kind of where I keep a lot of my practical art witch stuff. I'm not going to go through this whole drawer. There's a lot of crap in here, but mainly we've got a couple craft kits like these. These are to make Bridget's cross, which Bridget's Day is coming up, so my partner and I will be doing that. Got some corn dolly kits down there, and then I've also got my watercolors, and my colored pencils are in there too. So that is everything on this side of my altar. Oh my goodness, that took so long. Okay, so now we're heading over to this taller shelf on the side. So I'm gonna start from the bottom. The very first thing is stuff on the floor. Oh. So as I mentioned, I'm really into astrology lately, and I'm taking an idea from the YouTuber Molly Roberts. I subscribed to her on Patreon, and recently for Yule, she took one of these like children's board books that have like the really thick pages, and she actually painted over it and did all this stuff to it and made it into a mini grimoire. I was just so inspired by that, so I've been working on this gradually. It's a really long process, but I'm going to make this into an astrology grimoire. I made like shitty little watercolorings of all the planets, so this is going to be a grimoire just focusing on the planets and their kind of energies. I'm thinking if I like this, I'll also do one on like the zodiac signs, and then maybe possibly the different transits you can have in your chart. Yeah, maybe I'll show this one day, but my painting skills aren't like super good, so I'm not embarrassed of it, but it's not like something really amazing that I'm dying to, you know, show off publicly. Alright, so this cube here is basically some storage that has things that I might use a little bit more often. Back in the corner there where my head isn't blocking the light, I've got some self-care items. I used to subscribe to the Lunarly subscription box, so I have a ton of stuff from that. Got a couple jars, got a couple candles. Those will probably try to fit in there. More jars, and I do actually have a little heart-shaped libation dish in case I need it for something, but usually, like I said, I just use the chalice. Over in this little guy, there's a lot in here. So I mentioned that dragon's blood is my favorite scent, so I actually recently bought a box, which is 6 tubes. I've got a crap ton of tea lights in here. I've got an extra incense holder, some candles, and there's also a really large cauldron. It takes up most of the bottom of this box, so that's what's in there. Over here, like I said in my altar cleaning video, I have my theory books. So I've got, from left to right here, I've got Learning Herbalism Workbook, Dictionary of Demons, Wicca Year in a Day, Wicca Guide for the Solitary Practitioner, Witchcraft Theory and Practice, Garden Witchery, Natural Witchery, and The Witch's Familiar. I have a couple other theory books that are being loaned out to other people or are elsewhere, like I have The Crooked Path, which is currently by my bedside, but that's most of my like big idea books, I guess. They don't really contain spells, but they have the nitty-gritty of like what witchcraft is and things like that. I've also got 2 antique perfume bottles. These are from the 1910s or 1920s. I just thought they were really pretty, so I've got my big fatty boy chunk of amethyst. I think I said this in my last altar cleaning video, but I have a friend in the area who actually sells rocks and gems, like that's his job. So he had a yard sale this year and we went, and I got this for like a really ridiculously good price. So this is one of my favorite pieces that I own. I love the like quartz clusters on it. It's just so cool. Little jar back here with the crow, that's from Michael's like 7 years ago. And the next cube over is all of my candles. It's not terribly organized. I just kind of stack them in there. I did very recently get this candle snuffer. It kind of dings, which is fun. And I've got a couple other little animals made out of gemstone. These ones don't really fit with my main altar theme, so they just kind of vibe over here. Up above, I've got my herb shelf, which again, not to keep plugging this dumb video, but if you guys have seen my altar cleaning video, I went through this pretty in depth with all the different things I have. These jars, in case you're wondering, I actually got from a secondhand shop. They were like wedding party favors and they came in a box of 12, so I got a whole bunch of them for like $6. It was insane. I've got my mortar and pestle. This was a gift from somebody, so I have no idea where it's from. I just got this rose water from my local witch store. The owner made it, so that was really cool. I've also got this tiny little feather and a sachet over here in case I need it to make an herb sachet. Last cube of this section here, and then we've just got the top, and then we're done. So these little gemstone jar chip things, my friend actually got me for Yule this year, and they are labeled, so like this is adventuring. I was really excited because I can use these little gemstone chips in like spell bottles and things like that. So right now I just have them on display, but they are actually very useful for my practice. Back behind, this is one of my favorite things. I've actually never used it for a spell or anything, but I have this little like tea kettle cauldron. It's super heavy. This is like actually cast iron, but I love it so much. I've got a singing bowl. I actually got that again from my Lunarly subscription box. And then right here, this is a Pinewood Derby car that I had to make for class when I was in college. And it has nothing to do with anything, but I just think it's so cute. It's supposed to be Haku from Spirited Away, which is my favorite movie ever. So he just stays on display here because I love him. Okay, so up on top here, I have several things. So most of the weird decorations I have, like this stuff, are all from Target or Michael's. So this guy was from the Target dollar section one year during Halloween. This is a little herb sachet my partner made for me, so I keep that around. These are perfumes. I believe they're from Hot Topic. These were a gift from my old roommate. She got them for me because she thought that they were just bottles, but they actually have perfume, so I just keep them out on display. That same former roommate, like last week, gave me this horrifying cat candle, and I love it so much. Like, look at his face. I believe she got this at Savers, so I have no idea where you can find this, but I adore him. Over here, this is actually a cauldron that I do use pretty often. I think it actually still has stuff in it. Oh, yep, it does. So this one, I'll use if I need a lid, because my other cauldron over there does not have a lid. So if I'm doing something where it requires a lid for some reason, I'll use this one. Back here, I've got this little crocheted ghost. This is actually a gift from my ex-boyfriend. I do keep it around because him and I are still really, really good friends, so it doesn't bring back any weird memories or anything. I've also got a little crocheted bunny one of my college friends made for me back in college. This candle holder, funnily, I actually got from a greenhouse. I have no idea why they were selling it, but it's like cast iron and really, really nice, so that's here. I have this crystal ball. I'm pretty sure it's actually glass. You can see my ring light reflections. This is from Earthbound, so I'm pretty sure that this is actually a glass ball and it's not actually crystal. I really haven't had any luck doing any sort of scrying with this. It's very difficult for me, so unfortunately this is mostly just for show. I'm not complaining because I love the crystal ball aesthetic, but I wish that I could use it. Over here, just another decorative bottle from Michael's. And then I have this tiny print of little ghosts that have cherry blossom crowns. This is from, I think, from Look Human or Society 6. And I don't know the artist, I'm really, really sorry, but they have a whole bunch of different ghost prints and things. My phone case is actually one of these ghost prints. So the big elephant in the room up here, this is a giant herb cabinet. So it's got a latch on the side and it swings open like a door. This has a ton of different herbs in it. These little things over here are also gemstone chips. So like this is my holy grail. Again, this is from my local witch store. She commissions local craftsmen to make things for her that she can sell in the store. So this is a handmade cabinet. This was not a particularly cheap purchase, but I really don't regret it. I love it so much, and I always love supporting my local businesses. It's been really useful. It came like pre-labeled and everything, of course, so it's been awesome. So that is all of my main altar space. I do still have a couple other things to show you here. So this canvas is a very, very, very new addition to my altar space. I'm talking like a couple days. Once again, went to my local witch store, and they also sell art, and I saw this hanging and I had to buy it. I didn't care how much it cost. I didn't care how big it was. I just knew that it was for me. So I don't think the person that made this has any social media that you guys can follow, but it is just a gorgeous painting. Next to that, I have this little print that I got at an anime con one year. In this little pocket down here, I'm not going to pull it out, but it had a little fortune, so that was kind of the gimmick, is you buy this print and then it comes with an individual fortune. So my bedroom in this house that we rent, it doesn't have, like, it didn't come with curtain rods, and it actually has these little like nails and bracket things that are kind of broken and weird. So instead of trying to do curtains, I just hung a bunch of stuff from it, because what else would I do? So right here, this is a Ouija planchette necklace. A friend of mine got that for me from Hot Topic a couple years ago. This is my pendulum. So it looks like this. It's just a little evil eye. This is from a witch store in Madison, Wisconsin. I've had this for a very long time. Behind it, there's this little like decorative thing. This is again from the Lunarly subscription box. I'm not really sure what this symbol is, but I thought it was really pretty and it had good energy, so it just kind of hangs out here. Right in the very center of this window, I've got this very, very, very beautiful print of Bast. This was a Yule gift from my roommate Lexi this year, and it means so much to me. I love it so much. They know how much I love Bast. I talk about my practice to my personal friends a fair bit, so they knew that I followed Bast. So this is the print. I don't know where it's from, I apologize, but it is gorgeous. Hanging here, I have a little pine broomstick. This I got again from my local store. Over here, I've got this little bell. I sometimes use it for sound cleansing. And then hanging beneath the bell, I have a necklace with a cat and an amethyst chip, and I believe this is amethyst on the back as well. I know the lighting's weird over here because of my pink light, but my partner bought this for me, and I don't really wear a lot of jewelry, but it does fit with my altar, so I wanted to keep it here as kind of like a little Bast token. Right here is a pentacle with a piece of citrine hanging from it. I actually got this at an anime convention in Winnipeg in Canada. I have no idea why these chicks were at this anime con selling like pagan merchandise, but like I was fine with it, so I love this piece so much. And then dangling here, I have another necklace. This is actually from when I worked in a costume shop, so our boss at the end of the year got us these little personalized necklaces. So mine's got a C because my first name is Cece, and it's got this little like moth or firefly or something on it. And again, I don't really wear a lot of jewelry, but I thought this had good energy and good intention, so it stays at my altar. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing a little bit of my altar space. I do consider my entire bedroom to be my sacred space, but my altar specifically, of course, is where I do my craft and everything, so it does look like this all the time. So this is pretty much how it looks any given time you'd walk into my room. Sometimes I've got spells on it, sometimes I've got, you know, other like art witch stuff on it, but usually it looks like this. If you guys have any requests for videos, please leave it in the comments down below. I do have plenty of ideas, but I'd really like to hear what people want to see from me. I'm trying to kind of steer away from the basic like moon phases and like what is paganism kind of videos, because I feel like there's a lot of those on YouTube, and I don't really think that my time would be best spent doing that. If you really want to see something like that, I can do it, but I'm looking to do more like in-depth, practical, like real life shit on this channel. That's all I got for you guys today, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!